All right, so February 26, 1981, a young, well, we're always born young, a female entered into the existence known as Sharon Van Etten. She eventually went through all the high school stuff, did musicals. She did stage musicals in high school. She's from New Jersey, so she's a Yankee. And she decided to go to college in Tennessee to study recording, which she dropped out fairly quick. And then she worked at a place called The Rose. It's a cafe. They also have music there. They sell music there, and it's a music venue. So it's like a record shop and a coffee shop. It's no longer around. It closed in 2004, pretty much after she left. She did music there, or she at least listened to the music there, and she worked in the coffee shop. So after that 5-year period, and she didn't really do much with college, she went back to her mom's in New Jersey. She's from a place in New Jersey. And then she just started making music. And now she has that downtown hotspot. Now everybody remembers that line in 17. She has a #1 hit single, probably one of our greatest #1 hits in the last 10 years. It's called 17. It's a rockin' song. She also, on an album before she did that, Are We There Yet, or something like that? Are We There? Yeah, Are We There? She did one called Every Time I Wake Up. Oh, Sunday, something about Sunday. No, it's not Sunday. No, sun. The sun's in it, yeah. Every time the sun comes up, I'm in trouble. Every time the sun comes up, I see double. Okay, so that song has a vampire. It's really an actor playing a vampire, old guy. It's playing this vampire. She's a great musician. So she was an actress too. So she got into acting. She's in the OA. It's one of my favorite stories. Okay, you know how Stranger Things, everybody's from Chaplin in California? It's a university called Chaplin University. Well, everybody from Georgetown, well, not everybody, but Bradley Cooper went to Georgetown. Let's just put it that way. The OA is a better series. It's called The Original Angel. She's in that. Sharon Van Etten's in it. It's a good series. It's no longer active, but it was on Netflix, and I watched it. It was good. It was right before I dropped my Netflix. I watched that and Stranger Things were the two big things that I watched, and that weird, crazy Asian filmmaker one. The guy's trying to be a filmmaker. He's like naked director. There was a few other cool Netflix series, but I saw the OA, and then I also saw Netflix, Stranger Things on Netflix. So anyway, OA is great. The OA, she's in it. So she's been an actress. She's also in Twin Peaks, believe that. Anyway, she's pretty cool. So she's a New Jersey cat. Boom, 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 boom. I walk in the night like an alley cat. You try to knock me off my path, but I ain't no crooked cat. The devil's on my back, but God won't be to let him after that. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. They're all the way from California. All right, they're from Mississippi. Mississippi, and they're from California, all the way. And also, just to let everybody know, I'm about 10 years behind on Sharon Van Etten. There were people that knew about her 10 years ago. But remember when she left, when she started really rocking the musician, I would say maybe 2005. I don't know if she really was getting into acting. But I know that she has albums, like she was making albums and stuff like more than 10 years ago. It's old news, but you still hear 17, you're like, who is this? And then you do the research and then you know. But you know, there's stuff about Mick Jagger that people don't know. And then there is an article written too in 2012 that's just about Sharon Van Etten. It was in the New York Times. And one fan was really upset that she wasn't, you know, a lesbian. But she does have a child. She's a mother. She has, I don't know if the child was like, I don't know when he was born. I know that he's 7 years old, but I don't know for sure if he's 7 years old right now at this moment. But she does have a young boy. Pretty sure. I have to do research on that to find out a little bit later about her kids, but she's a mom. So she's a rock star mom. Isn't that cool? So she had a baby. Yeah, I was mentioning Georgetown. So in the OA, both the directors that started that, created the OA, they're from Georgetown, a university called Georgetown. They have a big English department. Anyway, it's a really creative series about, it's kind of a little bit about a secret society. It's connected to Russia. The original Angel, she's kind of like a gifted spy almost. It has to do with memory, and all these things go on. It's very, very bizarre. It's very Twilight Zone. To be honest, I'm gonna have to look up what the OA is about. I don't really know. All I know is like watching a Radiohead video at times, because they do this thing where they put their face in this glass bowl, or their head in this glass bowl, and they fill it up with water to kill them, but they put these things in their ears. So they die, and then they do research basically on their death, and then they resurrect them again. The scientist is like torturing these people to find out what happens to you when you die, and then they just bring them back to life immediately. It's really, they drown them. It's really crazy. There's a lot of good actors in it, but it's kind of neo-noir in a way, with kind of more of like a Netflix genre, if you call it that. I don't know if you can call something a Netflix genre, but it's neo-noir for sure, probably without really the voiceovers. You can have noir without voiceover, but it has twisted plot. You can't really figure out what's going on. Oh wow, look at this. Every time I come up, yeah, I'm on Sunday. Every time the sun comes up, I'm in trouble. Every time the sun comes up, I see double. Yeah, she did #1 hit. She figured it out. She figured out the rhythm. She figured out the equation. Was able to knock out a couple of #1 hits to save her and her family. She didn't need that many. You usually only need one. Especially if you're Rick Springfield. Jesse's girl. Jesse's girl. So whenever I saw the video, Sharon Van Etten's video, about, 17, I always thought she was talking about her daughter. So I have to find out if that's the case, because I heard she had a son, so I don't know. And then I also realized she wrote one before that. She had a hit single before 17. It wasn't her first hit single. Her first really big hit single, and the album made 25, top US chart, was, I believe, Are We There? And it was called Every Time the Sun Comes Up. That's the one that's got the vampire in it. It goes, every time the sun comes up, I'm in trouble. Every time the sun comes up, I see double. Yeah, it's really cool. She's got, what it is that's different about Sharon Van Etten is she has kind of an off-key gothic kind of sound in a way, a little bit. I know it sounds weird, like, what are you talking about? But her voice is like, it's kind of dark. It's almost like gothic in a way. It's weird. That's why there's a vampire in that song, even though it's an actor playing a vampire. She's really kind of folky, but she has like this hint of gothic aspect to her voice. 17 is more of like Pat Benatar kind of hit, you know, almost like Concrete Blonde. Well, not really Concrete Blonde. That's more like Hole. But, yeah, I'd say like Pat Benatar or something. It has that kind of feel to it, you know. It's a lot of like a consistent drumming, dun, 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 you know. And she's got different recordings of it. I used to live right there back in the 90s, right before I took off to Chicago. I lived, okay, so you walk up the steps, you go to the first one, and the second one, you turn right, and then turn right again. That center one, I lived there. I cut my pinky on a tuna fish can, because I'm a Steve Martin fan. There's moving pictures going all the way to August. Pictures do move. And then down here, if you keep on going, and you turn to the right, you'll see the zoo. A really cool zoo. Every time the zoo comes up, I hear an elephant. Every time the cheetah snores, I get a marshmallow. I'm getting kind of back. There it is right there. It's the iguana. Tennessee Williams wrote a play called The Night of the Iguana. It was about a Baptist. Every time the Baptist sleeps, he thinks of, I don't know, different things of the Bible, probably. Don't know her denomination. It's not a lot's written about her on Wikipedia. She's got one article, so we'll have to see when the bio comes out. And also, she's got some other #1 hits coming up, I'm pretty sure. It'd be weird if she didn't. Especially with a great hit like 17, which is very simple to play, but yet it's a strong song. And there's the Kentucky emblem. Yeah, I was 17 when I came to Fort Worth. I was the age of 17. I left Keller at the age of, well, I lived there for 15, and then I went back and forth between Haltom and North Richland Hills, and then Keller, and then finally came here at the age of 17. And I used to, when I was in college at Texas Wesleyan, right down here, where this is the Modern Art Museum up this way, I was about 22, 23 when I moved in there. And it was all wood apartments. There were, you know, like we were allowed to live there and everything. And now it's a museum. It's a modern art museum right off Darnell. It's literally like right here. Those were apartments. And we got a note on our door back in 1990, I guess 95-ish, said, well, we're going to turn these into something. We didn't know it was going to be a museum. So I moved in the Spanish ones for a while. And then left for Chicago for a couple of days. I did a lot of things. I ended up finally going to Los Angeles for about a year, and then New York. Been here for about 20 years. Off and on Fort Worth. I lived in different areas. .476 3.3. I put on Flock of Seagulls. Very good band, regardless of Samuel L. Jackson. But I like them. I think they're pretty good. They're not as good as Tear for Fears. I do like Tear for Fears. They're good as well. Now I put on Modern English. I Stop the World and Melt With You, which I think I might add that to Deep on Ellum. I might have to remember to do that. Don't know for sure. I'm gonna have to see it in the edit cut. I might bring it in and just see what's going on and then do it later once we get it filmed, which that's gonna be a personal piece, just like A Cat Named Crook. Okay, so I got some rap on The Cat Named Crook, which I might use in the movie. So, let's see if I have it. Walking in the night like an alley cat. Okay, I know that's the first one of the first parts. Walking in the night like an alley cat. You try to knock me off my path, but I'm no crooked cat. The devil's on my back, but God won't let him after that. So God won't let him after that. Yeah, there it is. The devil's on my back. God won't let him after that. So let's try it one more time. Let's see. I'm walking in the night like an alley cat. You try to knock me off the path. After path, you try to knock me off my path, but I'm no crooked cat. Probably you try to knock me on the path. I'm no crooked cat. It's probably what it'd be better edit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm walking in the night like an alley cat. You knock me off my path. I'm no crooked cat. The devil's on my back. God won't let him after that. God won't let him after that. God won't let him after that. God won't. So we'd go, God won't let him after that. Let him after that. So the devil's on my back, but God won't let him after that. The devil's on my back. God won't let him after that. So I'm walking in the night like an alley cat. You try to knock me off the path. I'm walking in the night like an alley cat. You try to knock me off my path, but I'm no crooked cat. The devil's on my back, but God won't let him after that. Some of Alright guys, David Lynch just posted 5 days ago on his YouTube post. Christabel came out with the song. Let's check it out. Something to do with memories.